Next topic is force on a charged particle in a magnetic field. Now first of all, when a charged particle enters in a magnetic field, it experiences magnetic force, and that force is directly proportional to the magnitude of the charge. Means more the magnitude, more is the force. More is the field, more is the force. And also on the v of sine theta. Means like if the particle is moving in this direction, so it has a component of v sine theta here. So v sine theta also contribute to the force. Now if we combine all the factors, all three factors, it will give F is directly proportional to QVB sine theta, or F equals to K QVB sine theta, where in SI unit this K is equals to 1. So here we get F is equals to QVB sine theta, where Q has just magnitude, V and B are the vector quantity, so we can get here V cross B. So this cross product gives the sine theta. Cross product gives the sine theta. So this force is also called Lorentz force. This force also called Lorentz force. It's Lorentz force. When theta is 90 degree, in that case sine 90 is equals to what? 1. In that case force is maximum. Force is maximum. If theta equals to 0 or 180 degree, in that case sine 0 is 0 or force is minimum. Force is minimum. So if we have to find the direction here, we use Fleming left hand use. In Fleming left hand use, say this is the Fleming left hand use. In that case, we use thumb, forefinger, and middle finger. So this F, this, and this. We have to orient this direction, three fingers perpendicular to each other. Like if this is direction of thumb, this is direction of forefinger, and this is direction of our third middle finger. So in this case, these three must be mutually perpendicular to each other. So thumb gives the direction of force. This gives the direction of magnetic field. And this gives the direction of current or flow of charge. So rules to find the direction of force, that is Fleming. So answer for the direction of force to find, we use Fleming left hand rule. Now next we have to define what is 1 Tesla. 1 Tesla. So 1 Tesla is actually what? It is the amount, magnetic field is said to be 1 Tesla when charge of 1 coulomb passes, or when a charge of 1 coulomb move with the speed of 1 meter per second and experience a force of 1 Newton, then it's said to be 1 Tesla. Next we have a numerical. Along straight wire AB carries a charge of 4 ampere. A proton travel at a speed of this parallel to the wire and 0.2 meter away from it in a direction opposite to the current. Calculate the force which magnetic field of current exerts on P and also specify the direction of force. As we know, for a straight wire, magnetic field is equals to mu naught by 2 pi IR. So by just simply substituting the value and calculating that, we get magnetic field is equals to this Tesla. As we have to calculate force, we will use formula QVB sine theta, and by substituting the value here of QVB and sine theta, we get the result of force. Next is motion of a charged particle in a uniform magnetic field. When a charged particle is present in a uniform magnetic field, then it experiences a force of F is equals to Q V cross B. This is the force on the particle when the particle is present in uniform magnetic field. If particle enter parallel to the magnetic field, in that case theta is 0, sin 0 is 0. Means in that case no force act on the particle. But if particle enter normal to the field, in that case force will be maximum, and as a result particle moves a circular path. And we know for a particle to move in a circular path, centripetal force is required. For a particle to move in a circular path, centripetal force is required. This centripetal force is provided by Lorentz magnetic field, that is F is equals to QVB. That is equals to F equals to QVB. As we know, centripetal force is equals to mv square upon r, and this centripetal force is equals to QVB. Here v get cancelled with this v, and from here we get what? From here we get mv upon r is equals to QB, or velocity from here is QB r upon m, as velocity is equals to distance travel by time taken. So velocity, distance travel is what? Say 2 pi r upon time taken is t. So if we compare this and this, we get 2 pi r upon t is equals to QB r upon m. Here r get cancelled with r. So from here time period is equals to what? Time period is equals to 2 pi m by QB. This is the time period of revolution in the circular path. So it's independent of the radius. So radius might be small or large, but time periods always remain the same. Next is when particle initially make an angle. First case was of parallel, second was of perpendicular, now third is of it's making some angle. In that case it will move a helical path. Which path? Helical path means with the circular path it also covers some linear distance. So it's cover which path? Helical path. It's cover helical path, where velocity has the two component, where this component v cos theta parallel, where second component v sin theta is acting perpendicular. So this perpendicular component will rotate it in a circular path, and linear provided the pitch. Pitch means some linear distance. So v cos theta act in y direction and provide linear motion. V sin theta act in a perpendicular direction and provide circular motion, due to which addition of circular plus linear path will produce in return a helical path. So the particle will cover helical path like this. So from here we can say that for the path to be helical, it's quite clear from here that centripetal force is provided by which path? That is from perpendicular one. From the perpendicular part. Perpendicular part provide the centripetal force. So for the centripetal force, this is the radius. This is v perpendicular is v sin theta here. And if we want to calculate time period for it, it's again count to be this. Where for the linear path, that is provided by the v parallel. So the velocity is equals to distance traveled by time taken. So here distance is linear path. Here linear path is called pitch. Pitch is what? Distance traveled by charged particle during the period of revolution. When it's rotating, it's the linear parts covering along with that is called pitch. So from here, V parallel is equals to what? Pitch upon time taken. So from here we can say pitch is equals to time period into V parallel, where V parallel equals to V cos theta, time period is equals to 2 pi m by qp. Next question is, an electron after being accelerated through velocity v of 10 raised to power 4 through a voltage of 10 raised to power 4 volt enter a uniform magnetic field of 0.04 Tesla perpendicular to the direction of motion. Now its perpendicular means provide which path? Circular path. It will provide which path? Circular path. So now calculate the radius. We have to calculate radius. We know for the radius formula is what? For the radius formula is this. So by substituting a value mass, velocity and qb, we get this term. Now according to the question, we know that qv is equals to half mv square. This is what? This is energy equals to kinetic energy half mv square, where energy is equals to work done, that is equals to charge into potential. So because we don't know the value of velocity, we have to calculate this velocity. So to calculate this velocity, we know the value of potential by solving this formula, where this v stand for velocity and this v stand for potential. So by substituting the value of potential here, we will calculate the value of velocity. Next topic is Lorentz force. Now, in presence of magnetic field, force act on the charged particle is given by Fp, that is equals to Q V cross B. This is called Lorentz magnetic field. And this force due to electric field is given by Q electric field. This is called Lorentz electric field. And if we combine the total result of this, F is equals to Fb plus Fe, and this will give a result of Q. F is equals to Q V cross B plus Q E, or we can say Q is common, V cross B plus E. This is net force. This is net force we will get. So here we can say velocity is equals to this vector. Velocity is equals to this vector. Next is velocity selector method. Velocity selector method. Now, if a charge is suspended in a perpendicular magnetic and electric field, in that case, it will move a spiral path like this. It's like this. Its radius keep on growing. Always. So these are like concentric circle but with growing radius. So in that case, if we say Fe is equals to Fp, and what's the value of Fe? That is charge into electric field. Her charge into Vb sin theta. E get cancelled with this E. We get here if theta is 90, because E and B both are perpendicular to each other. So sin 90 is 1. So here we get V velocity is equals to E by B. Is the ratio of E by B. Only those electrons pass through the slit which acquire a velocity of this. Now next topic is cyclotron. This is quite important topic and also even important from both point of view. Now what's a cyclotron? In a cyclotron, first we need to look out what's a cyclotron is actually. Cyclotron is a device used to accelerate charge particle, but it do not charge light particle. Like electron not get charged by this. So it's as used to accelerate charge particle, but only heavy one. It's used to charge heavy particle, accelerate heavy particle. Now it's based on which principle? It's based on the principle that it used to accelerate charge particle to very high energy by making it pass through moderate electric field a number of times. This can be done with the help of perpendicular electric field. Means in this phase, electric and magnetic both fields are present, but magnetic field is acting 90 degree to the particle motion. So field through which the particle moves into a circular motion, the frequency which does not depend upon speed, because we know that time period is what, 2 pi m by qb, because we have recently find this, and frequency is what, 1 by time period, so it is qb by 2 pi m. So it doesn't depend upon velocity. So its construction, it consists of two half Ds. Then first of all, it consists of two hollow metallic Ds, D1 and D2. Then Ds are connected to high frequency oscillator which reserve the polarities on the perpendicular. Magnetic field is applied through the charge particle in circular motion, and so the whole apparatus is evacuated in vacuum chamber so that particle do not collide with air particle. So its construction seems to be like this. D1, it's hollow from inside, made up of metal. D2, also hollow from inside, where space is there between these two. These two Ds are connected to high tension oscillator, means which keep on changing its polarity. Means initially during the first cycle, if polarity is plus and here is minus, during second cycle polarity is going to be minus and it's going to be plus. So polarities keep on changing, here. So this is the polarity applied here, and perpendicular to this a field is applied. Perpendicular to this a field is applied here, like this. Above and below this magnet, say north south magnetic field is there. So this is acting 90 degree to the base, due to which this move in a circular path, but change in polarity keep on raising its radius. Now how does it work actually? First of all, say we have D1, say this is first D, this is second D. This is a charged particle in the vicinity of 2Ds, as this have positive charge initially and it has a negative charge initially. Say we suspend here a positive charge. As this is positive, this is negative, so it get attracted toward this, but perpendicular magnetic field is acting on it, due to which it cover a circular path. So as it enter in this D and cover a circular path, polarity get changed. It become positive and it become negative. As it become negative, so it get attracted toward it. So again, due to the magnetic field, it's again get circular path. Again, as it reach here, polarity again get changed. This get negative, this get positive. So it keep on evolving like this. So this is the actually theory. So when a charged particle Q enter the perpendicular magnetic field, it subscribe a circular path and requires centripetal force, which is provided by the magnetic field. So this centripetal force is provided by the magnetic field. From here we get R is equals to this and time period is equals to this, which we had already derived earlier. So frequency is 1 by time period, so it is this. So from here we can see that frequency is independent of velocity. So working force the charged particle, say proton, is placed between the gap of T's, and let D1 is positive, D2 is negative. So the charge move toward D2. As it is inside D, electric field becomes 0, but perpendicular magnetic field will make it subscribe in a circular path. Again they get polarities, but in reverse direction. So again the particle will move inside them. So the maximum kinetic energy the particle can acquire here, half mv square, that we can calculate from this formula. So kinetic maximum is equals to, we just have to put the formula of velocity, that is nothing but qbr by m. So by substituting the value we get this kinetic energy. Now there are some limitations, like first of all, limitation according to the Einstein special theory of relativity, if the mass of body increasing, then velocity of the body by relation also changes because of this formula. Second, so frequency of cyclotron will decreases, but it says there is no result on the frequency, but as mass is changing, so frequency is also changing. So particle will go out of resonance with the frequency of cyclotron. Particle will go out. Next, electron cannot be accelerated because mass is very less, and cyclotron cannot accelerate neutral, means neutral particle which do not have any charge on them. Next case is force on a current carrying conductor. Suppose we have a conductor, this is a conductor which carrying current in this direction, and a magnetic field is acting on it, and also electric field is acting in this direction. So now we have to calculate what is the force actually acting on it. Now consider a conductor of length L and cross section area A. If current I is passed through the conductor and B is the magnetic field, then number of charged particle per unit volume will get some velocity, and they get charge and also attain a force, and that force is equals to E minus E Vd into B, because this time charge on electron. Now total force is equals to total number of electron into force on each particle. So we get here total number of particle, we know that is number density into volume, into charge into this term. So by solving this we get NEAVD, that is equals to current. So this is equals to minus I L B sine theta, or we can also write it as in the vector form like this, L I B. So we can say F is equals to Q V cross B, can also be written as, if we want to write here current, then it will become, so if we want to write here length, it will become current cross. This is the vector form of the force acting on the conductor carrying current.